This is podcast number 8 for the Well-Educated Mother's Heart. I'm Marlene Peterson, and today we'll show you how to capture images for your notebooks. I brought in a guest today, my husband, Brent, to teach you how to capture images for your notebooks. He's a lot more technically inclined than I am, so he'll walk you through that. I know a lot of you already know how to do this, but for some of you, I know you've asked how you can do this. So he'll show you how to capture the images and put them on a page and print them out so that you can have a variety of images for your notebooks. And here he is.
Hi, I'm Brent Peterson. I'm glad that I can get this opportunity to show you how to do a couple of things. Let's say we want to create a Joan of Arc page for our notebooks. We may want to have a number of different pictures, or we might just have one picture that we want to use. We saw a picture in some of our reading, or we saw it online, or we want to go find something online. So I'm going to show you how to get those images and put those on a page so they can be printed up and modify them a little bit. Now, there are different ways that you can do this. I'm just going to show you how to do it in Word, because that's probably the most common way to do it. There are other ways to do it. Some of you have some photo editing software that you can use, and you can be more complex than this. But I'm going to show you some simple ways to do it, so just about anybody would be able to do this using Word. The first thing we need to do is get the image on the computer screen. Let's say we decide we want to get an image of Joan of Arc. All we need to do is go into a browser and then just type in whatever you want an image of. In this case, I want an image of Joan of Arc, and then I just click on Images. And that brings up all of these images that we can select from, anything that we have. And it just so happens the one that I like is this image right here. Now, one thing you want to be aware of, these images will come up several times a lot of times in this list. This number down here on the bottom, this one says 1341-1920. What that says is that is a very high resolution image, which is good for doing what we want to do if we want to print those out. I'll click on that, and then there's an option here that says View Image. I want to click on that again, and then I right-click on that image. It brings up some choices for me. The one that I want to do is Copy Image. This is the simplest way to do it. If you're going to be using another program, you may want to save image as to make some additional modifications on it. But in this case, I'm just going to take this into Word, so I'll click on Copy Image. And then I'm going to go into my Word program. I'll just click on the icon down on the bottom, and this will bring up my Word program. And we'll just start out in this case with a blank document. And then all I have to do is press Control V or File or Edit and Paste. So what we'll do in this case, we brought this up. This is on the screen. Now, this is larger than you would want to print it out, most likely, especially if you're going to be using it in a notebook. So we want to make it a little bit smaller. I'll click on that image, and I want to click on this little funny looking thing. This is Layout Options up here on the right-hand corner. I'll click on that, and then I want to select with text wrapping, and I want to select in front of text. Now, the reason I'm doing that is because I want to be able to place this anywhere I want, have multiple items next to each other, and that sort of thing. And that's what we're trying to do, save space on this page and put multiple images on it. So I'll click on that option, And then I can click on the upper right hand corner, or actually any of the corners, and it brings that double ended arrow. I click and hold that down and then drag it down to make it smaller. I can make it whatever size I want to have that. And I still want it even smaller than that. So I bring it down to that smaller size. And then I can position that anywhere on the page. Now when you do this, you want to have some kind of a margin on the outside edge. You don't want to have it right on the edge, because when you print these up, there's always a margin on a printer that will not print for that area. Usually if you leave a 1/2 of an inch margin, that will be fine, and it'll fit just fine. So we'll move that over to about 1/2 an inch. Doesn't have to be exact. And we'll make that even a little bit smaller. Now you'll figure out what size you want to have that, but you can just drag and set it whatever size you want. You'll get used to that image. So we now have that image on there. Now we want to go and get some other images. Say we want to go get something off of the website from Libraries of Hope. We just go into our browser again, type in Libraries of Hope.com. Now in this case, the first one that we're going to do is we're going to go in and find something from our resources. So I click on the resource option, and then I select Fine Art Images. I click on Fine Art Images, and the one specifically, since Joan of Arc is going to be in my historical, and I want to select month 5 because she is from France. So I click on month 5. Now you probably remember that these go into the Pinterest that we have created, the Fine Art month 5. And now I want to go all the way to the very bottom down here on this, because it just so happens that I know where that is. But you can look through all of these images and find out if there's some other images that you might want to use. But the one I want is way down here on the bottom. There it is down here on the bottom. This is the image that I want. I just click on that, and it comes up like so. Now, what I want to do is, once again, right-click on that image, and then click on Copy Image. Then I'll go back to my Word program. And once again, I just go in here, and all I have to do is press Control V or paste up here in the corner. So there's the image that has been pasted on that. Now what I want to do in this case, I want to also change the wrap text option so it is in front of text. Again, so I can move this and put it anywhere I want. I've got it smaller, but you can see that the image is over here on the side, so I want to change that a little bit and make that so it's a better size. Now we could have this whatever size you want, but once again, you don't want to have it too large if it's on a notebooking, because you want to have some room to write some notes on it. But at the same time, some of these images that you will be printing up will be in a lot better shape. You can see a lot better if you make them a little bit larger. So you have to make that determination of how large that needs to be. So let's say we want it to be this size. Now what we're doing right now is mostly going to be done for colored images, because this is what you want to do if you want to print up a color. And a lot of times you'll be taking these to a printer or something else. You want to have as many of these images on here on one page as you can, because they charge the same price for one page with one image on it as they do for one page that has 6 images on it. So you want to get as many of those on there that fit, that are large enough so you can see. You can do this with black and white images also. So now we have 2 images on. Now we have one more image that I want to show you how to go in and capture. This image is going to be also in the Libraries of Hope website. And we'll go into the library and go into the Great Lives series. Joan of Arc is a leader statesman, so that's the book that she is in. So I'll just click on that, and it just so happens that that one is down here on the bottom. Joan of Arc, Andrew Lang is a book that I want to go look at. So I just click on that, and that just goes into the Internet Archive file, and it has that book there for me. Now, it just so happens that that's the page that I knew that I wanted to have because I've been looking at it before, but that might not always be the case. If you need to find that image that you want, all you have to do, I would make it larger like this. And you can just change the pages that you want to go look through, or just scan through those pages until you find the one that you want. So I'll just take this one right here. Once again, we'll do the same thing. We'll click on the right button and then select Copy Image, and then go into Word once again, and then we're going to click up on the top and then press Control V, which is paste. Now that time the image is in the back, so we need to change that one also. We'll right click on that, and we have this little image over in the corner again, this funny looking thing. We'll click on that and select In Front of Text. Okay, that still isn't perfect because it needs to go down here smaller down on the bottom. So we'll just click and drag that, make the size of that smaller. And there's our image that we have there. This still isn't exactly perfect because it has a little edge on the outside, and it also has a caption there. You may not want that on your images, or you may want to do that. Now, there are a couple of ways that we can handle this. First of all, you may want to just allow your children to go around and cut around that image with a pair of scissors, because all of these are going to be cut out anyway. But you do have one other option. You can click on this, double click on it, I should say, and up here on the upper right hand corner there's an option that says crop. We click on crop, and it gives us some little drag arrows to just make that a little bit smaller. So we can cut the edges off of that, move it in, just cover the parts that need to be covered. And then double click on it. Oh, this one doesn't double click. I apologize. I want to click on crop again. And that just cropped those edges off. So you can make those with those sizes. You can also continue to size it, dragging it smaller or larger. Again, figuring out what you want to do. Now I've done this so that we could have multiple pictures on the same page, so that we can save some money as far as printing if we take that to a printer to do that. Now, if you're doing it yourself, or if you only have one that you want to print up, you can just set this up so that you have it up. Just put one of these images on that page and print that up, and you can print it on your color printer. That works just fine if you have a color printer. But if you've got a lot of images that you want to do, this is a good way to do it, and you can get a better copy sometimes if you take it to a copy store or something like that. If you have any more questions, you can email us, or we are in the Facebook group, and we'll try and answer those questions for you.
Bye-bye. See you next time.